some of the very first chapter is on, in my opinion, the 4 most important traits of being a leader. I took the first trait is something I sort of invented called fluidability, and it is a combination of fluidity and adaptability. And I think it's one of the 4 primary traits of a great leader. And so, what do I mean by that? Well, as a leader, I just did a social media post about this last week, which is that as a leader, attaching to some certain outcome gets in the way of your ability to lead. And so when you are transitioning and working with a group of people, as the leader, you have to be okay with the fact that that group of people may decide a different outcome is optimum versus what you think and where you think it should go. And so many leaders go into situations, into meetings, into planning sessions, thinking that they know what the outcome of that conversation or meeting or engagement should be. And that gets in the way of the group having the ability to have influence and so on. And so that's and if you don't have tight expectations around an outcome, it allows you to have less risk in that outcome, and it allows the group to have significant influence. Otherwise, you're just manipulating, right? If you go in and the whole idea is I got to get the group to believe that this idea that I've come up with is their idea, and I just got to get them on board with their idea, like, that's just flat out manipulation, right? So this fluidity concept is detaching from thinking that you have the expectation or you have the outcome figured out already, and then also the fluidity of being able to meet each member of your team where that member is on their own development journey, and understanding how those impact the overall group itself, right? And so having the fluidity to know that you might have someone who is, in a certain place in their development journey, but someone else is in a different place, and understanding all that, you have to be incredibly fluid in terms of how and when you're engaging people in relation to the complexity of that concept where everybody's in a different place. And, I go through and do what I call math around that. A 6-member team is one of the most complex organisms on the planet. And as the leader, if you think that you can hold all of that together, that's crazy town. And what you as the leader need to do is facilitate and be fluid enough to allow for the group to take care of itself, the individual members to take care of each other, and that you as a leader don't have to play that role. You need to make sure that you're just facilitating the healthy environment. And so, again, fluidity there. And then the last thing is that every situation you're in as a leader may take a different contribution from you. You might need to be, in one meeting at 10 a.m., you might need to be maybe a little bit surly, a little bit grumpy, and then at the next meeting, individually with somebody who's going through something difficult, you might need to be super empathetic and supportive and so on. And understanding what role you need to be playing at any given moment, to me, is one of the biggest leadership challenges out there, because it isn't one size fits all, and being in touch and in tune enough to understand who you're supposed to be at this moment in time takes an extraordinary amount of awareness.